Hi and welcome to today's video. Today I am asking what new energy is coming your way. Decided to do card counting for this video with significators that I did not pick. I decided to see what would pop out. So the significators for you to choose from when choosing groups is for group 1 we have the Six of Cups. It's Alice, and then Alice is also on, obviously this is Alice of Alice in Wonderland. This is group 2 with the Three of Oysters or the Three of Coins. Group 3 is the Queen of Peppermills / Wands. That is the Duchess's maid, the lady who gives Alice the pig. Oh, and she's got her little Cheshire cat with her as well. Group 4 is the King of Swords or the King of Flamingos. That is the Queen of Hearts' husband. It's a very, very groovy looking king. I really love him. He looks way more chill than the normal King of Swords, that's for sure. And then group 5 is the Chariot, which I think that's from book 2. But yeah, so those are the groups for you to choose from. I just pick whichever significator you resonate the most with. It's really up to you. You can pick more than one, obviously. It's a general reading, so if it's not working for you, you can always switch groups or watch a different video. But whatever you do, I hope you enjoy. Thanks. See you in the reading. Hi and welcome if you chose the Six of Cups, Alice and the Little Dormouse, and sharing a lovely little hat together. Oh my goodness. There's a very nostalgic energy on that card, and the Six of Swords reverse just flipped out, so you may be thinking of something from your past, but we'll see. Okay, so let's find the significator and get this thing going. It's a very warm energy, I'll say that. Definitely feel warm. It's yeah, if I were to hazard a guess just straight out the gate, I'd say this might be related to romance in some way, but we'll see what the cards say. I could just be jumping the gun because romance is always on my brain. Let's see, where the hell is your significator? Oh my god, it was bottom deck energy. That's annoying. Okay, so let's count them out. A lot of threes. Oh wait, no, there's just 2 threes. Sorry. I'm getting carried away. I'm sorry. 5, 6, 7. Ooh la la. There are a lot of threes. You have 3 threes so far. 2, or no, 3, 4, 5. It's a 9. 2, 3. Wow, a lot of major arcana coming out the gate, late in the game. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, Lala. And that's your final card. I'm going to show you the top first. So, you've seen your significator, the Six of Cups. Then we have the Seven of Wands, the Three of Coins, the Four of Wands, and the Three of Wands. The next row, 8 of Coins reversed, the Devil. You have a lot of Earth Major Arcana energy, so it feels like something is really trying to ground. Whether or not you are working toward it, the Two of Wands, I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. The Queen of Swords, Three of Swords, Six of Coins, the World, the Empress, the Chariot, and the Ace of Hats. So yeah, it feels like there's an energy here, the Six of Coins, of something that you feel really, really drawn to, a really, really nostalgic energy. Feels like someone from your past, and it also feels like something that you want to bring back, something that you want to come back toward you. But with the Eight of Coins, I don't feel like you're actively working toward that. You are, with the Six of Coins, looking at other areas of your life and trying to give to people who really need it. With these little oysters all crowding around Alice, it's like you have people who need your attention. You have people or things, responsibilities that are drawing toward, that are around you, that you need to actually focus your energy on. So you're not putting any energy into, I don't know, going out searching for loves. Like, I don't see you as someone who's on dating apps necessarily. Or if this is about a specific person, I don't really see you reaching out to them or putting in a ton of effort with them. It doesn't seem like a good use of your energy. It seems like you're trying to be in a very pragmatic mindset. Yeah, with the Seven of Wands, there's kind of a defensive energy for sure. And with the Devil, it kind of, I feel like all this heat is coming from the fact that you may be very, very attracted to someone or something. You feel really, really called toward it. But, I don't really know if they're right for you. This could be someone who hurt you in the past, or you may just be resonating with relationships in the past where you felt really taken advantage of or undervalued. Yeah, the Two of Cups just popped out to let me know this is a relationship thing. So yeah, this is about your fears about intimacy, about letting your guard down, and then having the other person, I don't know, just devour you like a greedy evil dragon or whatever this, what is this animal called? I can't remember. But you know, the animal from the big long poem. That's really helpful. In Alice in Wonderland, you know what I mean. Yeah, with the World, it feels like you have some growing to do. Alice literally had some growing to do. You need to feel bigger. You need to big up yourself. You need to gain some confidence. Give yourself some self-love. Yeah, we don't all have a magic mushroom that we can just eat to instantly become bigger. You may have been caught up in these energies in the past where you weren't surrounded by people who had your best interest at heart. You could have experienced third-party situations, definitely with that Three of Cups reversed. And you just have a lot of threes here. There's a big threes energy here. Because the World also reduces to a 3. So you have 2 of the 3 major arcana, and then you have 3 of the 3s in the regular deck. Or not the regular deck, but like the playing cards part of the deck. So yeah, there's a heavy sense of triangles. The triangle, I mean, triangles are the strongest shape, so it's, yeah, I'm gonna get to the Chariot. So it's a sense of needing to balance your own energy, to pull yourself away from energies that aren't serving you. And I'm asking about what new stuff is coming into your life. It does seem like something new is definitely coming with the Chariot popping out. It might be a little bit overwhelming. You might not have room for it with what's going on in your life, with you having so many responsibilities, and that you might have to take a bit of a pause to do things the right way. Make sure everything's going through the right channels. With the Three of Coins showing up here, yeah, I definitely feel like you're a part of your community, like you have responsibilities. What I just see is Alice like being responsible for this little pig now. This is like you've been handed certain responsibilities, and you have to keep that in mind when you're choosing which way you go. The Empress, I just see you as a loving person. Like you're someone, yeah, you're someone that people rely on. You're someone that people really look to as being sort of very mature and steadfast, and kind of like, if you're not necessarily seen as super matronly or motherly, people do see you as a shoulder to cry on or someone they can confide in. You have a very calm, centering energy to people who know you really well and really love you. This gives me very heavy like Taurus vibes. With the Four of Wands here, I do feel like this 3 energy, which may feel a little bit precarious to you, will really balance out with the Four of Wands. You really feel like you've hit some points of stability in your personal life, which is really, I feel like, what you're wanting. You're wanting to maybe go back to some energy. You may have been in a really good place before someone came along and kind of fucked up your happiness. Fucked up your energy. And so I feel like, I just didn't even realize I started swearing, sorry. I feel like there'll be like a bit of a return to joyful celebration here. This Four of Cups card is very like, it's very understated. It feels very domestic and homey. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles just popped out. I'm not taking that reversed. I do feel like there is going to be sort of like a coming together, and maybe with the Queen of Swords, someone is going to explain themselves to you, is kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like someone owes you an explanation. I just see this Queen of Swords like just holding back and like waiting for like that explanation to come, for that yeah, for the explanation that she's owed, that kind of thing. Someone needs to give you a good reason why they behaved the way they did in the past. Yeah, I feel like with this wish card, oh my god, oh my freak, okay. Okay, so first we have the wish card and the Six of Wands, which is a very victorious, triumphant energy. So I feel like however this conversation goes, it's going to be what you wanted. You're going to hear what you wanted to hear, and it's going to feel right. Because both of these cards are very vibey. They're water and cups and wands. So it's going to feel right on an energetic level. And then the Queen and the King came out together. They popped out together, so it does feel like coming together with an equal. Someone is leveled up for you. And yeah, with the Chariot, I feel like it's going to be very emotional. It's going to be a big emotional driving energy. Why is my card flipped over? Let me see. Yeah. And again with this Two of Wands, I feel like they're going to open up a new path for you. The Two of Coins. You are going to have to balance what's going on in your life over here, your other responsibilities, to make room for this person. Your life might be very full right now. It might feel like you don't have room for a new project. But this energy, I feel like, is going to be really strong and really kind of overwhelming. Like it's like it's moving you. It's moving through you. It's pushing you toward a new option. With like, I just see Alice pulling back this curtain and revealing like, oh, there's something you didn't realize was there. There's a new opportunity there. And it's about letting go of the pain of the past with this Three of Swords and embracing a new opportunity for love. Because this reading is about what new energy is coming in. And it ended on the Ace of Cups. So I definitely feel like there will be some kind of offer of love coming in. The King of Wands just flipped over. So whoever this person is, I feel like they've done some maturing, some growth. Again, and how you experience them in the past isn't necessarily how they are now. They've gained some temperance. They've sort of transmuted their energy a little bit, and balanced it out a little bit more. Yeah, because, I mean, I see you, regardless of whether or not you're masculine or feminine, I see you showing up as both the Empress and the Queen of Flamingos. So I feel like your energy is quite well matured. Like you have a strong sense of who you are, especially with a strong sense of what your values are. With the Queen of Flamingos relating to Libra, and then the Empress relating to Venus, there's a strong sense of what is important to you, what you want your life to look like, and who you have room for in your life. Like, I do feel like you are so defensive because you know you know what you're worth, and you don't want to get stuck holding the bag. Sorry, I just got a phone call. I have to remember to put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I always forget. It's my bad. But yeah, can we have any final clarifiers about this? Whoa. Okay, the Ace of Cups again. So in terms of new energy, oh my goodness. Okay, so the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Coins. So you do feel like a very strong emotional engine here. It's kind of like the greatest possibility you can dream. that is quite possible. We have the Ace of Wands here as well. Just seeing the Queen in between these two aces. Kind of like, you need to be, the idea is to be, to allow yourself to be in tune with what you feel passionate about and what you feel emotional about, to kind of let your guard down and be in a more intuitive emotional energy. Because it just feels like you're drawing in some good stuff. It's coming towards you. You don't want to block this out with the Seven of Wands showing up twice. We don't want to block out kind of like all the fabulous wish fulfillment that could be flying toward us. Okay, yeah. So just a few more cards. I'm going to draw some cards from my Moon Oracle deck just about the new energy coming in, or the new old energy coming back, possibly. Anything to add? Ma'am, please. Okay. Freya. So I know Freya was a goddess of love and war. Oh my goodness, okay. I'm just gonna take the top one. Isis. Okay, so Freya has the energy of the black moon on her. Sorry, that was a weird thing to say. Sorry. There's a little black moon symbol on her card is what I meant to say. So it feels like you may have been in hiding from this connection, or from just new love connections for a little while now. Aquarius is on here too. That's a very independent energy. And I just see Freya crouching down in the reeds, hiding. She seems like she's in more of a war energy than a love energy right now. And this may have been you for a while. I think Isis is asking you to transition into an energy that's a bit more open to partnerships, but definitely only equal and collaborative partnerships, because Isis was just as powerful as her mate. I mean, she's the one, when her husband got chopped up into all those itty-bitty pieces, she's the one who found all of them and put him back together. So that could be a bit of a metaphor for your situation. The person you're thinking of may have gone through a bit of, I don't know, I want to say like a metaphysical dismemberment and been put back together. They may be quite different than what you remember them as being like. And, yeah, I think as long as your partner, as long as they come back to you in an energy of being a true partner, of really respecting you and seeing you for your value, I don't think that there's any risk in giving them another opportunity. Not that you have to like let them back in completely, or as this Queen of Swords here, I think you can play a little bit hardball. They owe you an apology, then they owe you an apology, and that's fine. This deck only has, it's a pretty big deck as you can see, and it only has 12 goddess cards in it, and you got 2 of them, plus the Empress, so I think, you know, plus the World, so like stay in your big goddess energy, like that's absolutely, completely an attractive energy to be in. Yeah, you pulled, like, as far as actual cards out on deck right now, there's like really big feminine empowered energy. So whether or not you're like naturally a more feminine person or a woman or anything, it's just kind of just like be in your power in a more you don't have to be aggressive with this person. You don't have to be in a competitive or combative energy with this person, and kind of just be in your calm and quiet feminine energy and let them come to you, let them explain themselves to you. Allow the best case scenario to be pulled towards you with your sort of, by having a higher vibration yourself. I feel like, you know, Isis, her husband did get dismembered, and his penis was actually never recovered. So it was like a pretty grim situation when your husband gets killed and chopped up into pieces and thrown, scattered to the 4 winds. But you know what? She kept her head high and gathered his pieces up and put him back together. Like, so there's something to be said for keeping your energy positive, keeping your energy vibrating on a higher level, and attracting the greatest possible outcome to you. Because I just feel like, you know, with all these aces here and all these goddesses here, I think you have a high potential as far as what you're attracting into your life, what new thing you're attracting in. Is that it could be a reunion with someone that you've wanted for a very long time. I definitely see that here. So, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I'll see you later. Hiya, and welcome if you chose 3 of coins. So let's pop that in the deck and see what new energy is coming your way. Oh my goodness. Something big might be coming. I don't know if you just saw, the tower popped out. Or something big may have just come. There we go. Okay. Alright. Let's figure this out. The next card is the 8 of Wands reversed. 3 of Cups. Knight of Wands reversed. Oh boy. Sorry, I shouldn't go straight into oh boy, but then we got the King of... Oh my goodness, what's going on? The King of Peppermills reversed. 7 of coins. Goodness gracious. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. No. Sorry, I keep saying that. I don't mean to be like, uh-oh. I'm just feeling like you've been very unappreciated. That was the 9 of Cups reversed. 3. The Page of Cups reversed. 4, 5, 6. 6 of Swords. Hell yes. Let's get out of here. 4 of Swords reversed. 5 of Cups reversed. The Sun. I love that. I saw that when I was pre-shuffling as well. Between groups. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 of Swords. 6, 7. Ace of Coins reversed. 4, 5, 6. And the 5 of Coins. So we're definitely going through a hard time. Definitely going through a hard time right now. I feel that. And that is the last card. So yeah, I'm just gonna read this one. So yeah, I got this feeling when I was looking at Alice earlier that there's this feeling with Alice and the pig that you can see that she's kind of been left holding the bag. Yeah, it's like she's kind of naive, like she's been saddled with some kind of burden or responsibility that isn't really hers to have. This isn't her baby / pig to take care of. So I feel like you've been growing your mindset recently. You've been working on, yeah. Oh my goodness. You've been working on sort of having temperance. Instead of reacting with a feeling of when you feel abandoned, when a situation makes you feel, your heart space feels kind of activated with this fear of rejection, you jump straight into feeling abandoned. But I feel like you've been working with the 5 of Cups reversed, you've been working on letting that mindset go. You've been working on trying to have a more positive mindset. It feels like your energy's been frustrated for a while. You've been trying for a while to move forward in some way towards some wish fulfillment with this 9 of Cups. But yeah, it's been really difficult. I feel like you feel like you've been really thwarted. Definitely really thwarted. Like it's just taking too long almost. The reason the Sun is here is because I think you are being asked to not give up hope, to really try to maintain optimism as much as possible. And if you need to ask people for help, you see Humpty Dumpty reaching out his hand to Alice. To rely on a support system because maybe you've been isolating a little bit. The 3 of Coins usually shows collaboration between 3 people inside of a cathedral. And in this card, it shows Alice kind of abandoned and alone. Yeah. This Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords, I just get the feeling that you resent that somewhat. Everybody just walked off and left you with the bag, and I feel like you know that wasn't right. In some situation, I feel like you feel unsupported. You feel, yeah, you haven't been given the support that you deserve. This Three of Cups, it seems like maybe in a relationship there's been more of a focus on having fun. Again, this card's popped out. The Temperance, the Five of Coins, and the Eight of Coins now. So it feels like you feel like you've been very left out, and you're trying to control that emotion. You're not trying to act out of those feelings of maybe loneliness or rejection or hurt. And you're working really hard. I feel like you are making progress. You are making a lot of progress in terms of how you handle your negative emotions, but with this Page of Hats, it still feels like you do get really emotionally activated. And there's the Page of Cups jumping out again. I think you want recognition more than anything. That's what this Page of Cups is asking for. With the Page of Cups, we're not always the best communicators. We haven't quite learned how to communicate our feelings in the most nuanced way, so you may not be able to, it might be frustrating to try to express that. Like, it feels like it comes out in ways that it's self-defeating, where you're trying to express yourself, but because you're so anxious, like with this Eight of Swords, it feels like you can't speak directly, so you might get more passive-aggressive, or you might try to talk about it, but it just doesn't come out right, and you don't fully express the force of how bothered you are about certain situations. It feels like you internalize it and try to take it on yourself. These two cards came out together. They came out together in the group before, and I swear to God I separated them when I put them back in, but I'll just be sure to do that this time. I definitely feel like what you're wanting for is a partnership between equals with the Queen and Coin of Cups. And you want it to be very sort of balanced, and with them being, I said cups, didn't I? I meant the King and Queen of Coins. With the Suit being coins, I feel like you want it to be very grounded, on a very material, practical, and physical level. You want it to feel like a partnership between two people who are equally invested in doing the work together. At the Knight of Wands, there might be a person in your life who, the Knight of Wands is the Six of Swords and the Ace of Coins reversed. It feels like there is definitely someone who's coming and going, and it's tiring you out. Like, you're getting really tired of it. You don't know how much more you can take. Like, it feels like they're really testing your patience. They're here and then they're not. They say they want something. There's a lot of talk, but with the Ace of Coins in the reverse, it doesn't materialize into anything, and that feels really frustrating. Yeah. I think with the King of Wands, there's a need for you to re-envision in what you actually want in a partnership. What are you actually attracted to and drawn to? Because with the Knight of Coins, I just feel like this ain't it. You need to work towards something better. Oh my goodness. So, we got the King of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Coins. So yeah, it's like this is you want someone who's more of a King of Wands. You don't want a little knight, you don't want a little boy running around. And I'm sorry if your person isn't a man. I'm just seeing like this masculine energy show up in the reverse, and it feels like the other person. So I don't know if they're actually a man or a woman, but whatever this is, you don't want an immature person. You don't want someone who's not really capable of grounding anything with you. What you want to bring in is someone who's really mature, someone who knows what they want, who keeps their eyes on the prize, someone who shows you love and that you feel it, you feel the reality of it. That's what you're wanting to work toward with this Eight of Coins here. And so I think the new energy that's coming in, I think with the Four of Swords in the reverse, what you're being called to do a little bit is to be more introspective, to really examine your behavioral patterns and what you're attracting towards you. With the Tower reversed, it's like there's some thought form here that needs to be examined and sort of blasted open or shattered, because you may be unconsciously attracting, you know, this cycle with the Eight of Wands of bringing in sort of fun and fast energy into your life, without sort of tempering it with any sort of kingly qualities of being, you know, loyal or steadfast or committed. It's just kind of like a hot and cold energy that's coming in. And so, as far as like what new energy you're attracting right now is kind of more of the same, more feeling like I've been left out, like what I really want is out of my reach. Which I'm sorry to say. You did get here the sun upright, and I feel like this is really the key in the reading, is that, oh, you know, we're looking for some, to kind of look beyond, look higher, have a higher ideal or higher goal than what we've set our sights on in the past. Also to sort of mix a metaphor, this egg is breakable. He's going to fall. Humpty Dumpty is a very egotistical character. You might be attaching yourselves to sort of big, larger-than-life eggs. He's just an egg, really. He's just a breakable little egg. He's not even grown into whatever animal he's supposed to be, like a lizard or a chicken or even a frog. Obviously, this looks like a chicken egg. But my point is, this is not a complete grown person. This is just an egg. This is not your sun. You can go higher than this. That's what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and get some advice, because I know that's kind of like pretty bleak. To be like, well, what you're attracting is misery. Yeah, no, I don't think that has to be what new energy comes into your life, because obviously the future is very, very fluid. We change our energy, we change our future. So let's get into it. I'm gonna do like a 5-7 reading for you, because those are always fun. So let's see. Don't flip for me, man. Okay. So you're gonna have to soften your grip a little bit with this popping out. You gotta change your vision, because your perspective may be a little bit, like, you may not be thinking big enough. The Four of Coins is kind of, when we get to a certain point where we have enough, sometimes we feel like we've arrived and we've made it, and we forget to try to, we forget that we can actually build higher. We can go farther than just the 4. The 4 sometimes feels like enough when we've been starving. I forget to look beyond. I just felt really hungry when I said that. You may be really hungry. You may have been waiting for a good fucking meal for a long time. This person's been starving you emotionally. It's like they reach out a little tempting treat and then give you a nibble and then snatch it away. That's like the vibe. Which sucks, I'm sorry. No, I shouldn't laugh. I don't mean to laugh. Oh, this just popped out. Runner. Major runner energy. Okay. 5-7 for advice of how to, break out of this pattern. Take it somewhere higher. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4? No. Stop hiding. 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are so messy. Okay. So, card 1. Right. Okay, so this is all about your personal choices. You have options whether you realize it or not. I mean, options aren't always immediately apparent. It can take a second to recognize what's out there for us, but you're being told very clearly that you have different paths. If you see, it's very suggestive placement of the paths. But yeah, you have different paths, and some of them will lead to better places than where you are right now. Okay. So we kind of have to get a little bit realistic. Shift out of a more fantasy energy. We don't really need all that fantasy. We need to work on balancing our own energy. Wands represent intuition. There's a definite need to develop healthy boundaries. 5. Yes. Forgot how to count. Yeah, so with the Tower, there's a definite need to shatter thought forms. I think the Tower reduces, does it reduce to a 7? Yeah, so with 7s, it's all about kind of raising our vibration. It's about expanding out in a more spiritual way. The 6 is a very prosperous, balanced, and just lovely number. And with the 7, we're kind of we're getting kind of vibey, like we're getting a little bit more spiritual. So it's kind of like, I see, yeah, like you need to almost like open up your third eye with all the eyes on this tower. You need to allow yourself to see situations as they actually are. Sometimes we get trapped in situations with people because we're focusing on what we want them to be, what we want to see, instead of seeing them for who they really are. Another 7. Yeah, so you're just chasing after shit that isn't serving you. That's basically what that one is saying. It's not worth it in the end. The small little bits and pieces they give you aren't worth it. Yeah, I think you might be thinking about a certain relationship a lot and going around in circles over it, but you can't really think this relationship into working. You can't do all, with Alice here, again, just standing by herself, you can't do all the work here by yourself. That's not how a relationship should be. I see, I definitely need to ground. You see the ground has an eye. The ground, yeah, you need to ground. That's the main thing. And I feel like this person, this person with the 8 of Swords being down here as well really gets you in your head and kind of spins you around. Just think what new energy you need to bring into your life is to really, really ditch this relationship. I don't think it's the one. Oh my god. Yeah, the devil. Good god. This is a really intense vibe. This is a really intense vibe. I just think that I don't know what the future holds for this person, but at this time I don't really see them as being good for you. So yeah, I mean, really as far as messages go, it's just about choices with the lovers. It's about making the best choices for our own mental health. Because there's a strong, like, I'm just seeing a strong focus on mental health here. We have to, like, we want to nourish our minds. We want to, you know, we don't want our minds to be caught up in these cycles of emotional pain, of longing, and of drama. Yeah. I think sometimes we get addicted to negative cycles with people. We get addicted to the strong feelings that they can evoke in us. But ultimately, I just think there's something better out there for you. I mean, I know there is. There's definitely something better than this. Because this vibe is like a little bit stanky, to be honest. Sorry to say. That's rude. Excuse me. But, yeah, that's just what I'm seeing. Let's see. Any other... Yes, ma'am. Oh my goodness. Okay, I swear to God I shuffled this deck a lot, because I've used it quite a few times. So you got a sequence. You got 15, you got 16, and you got 17. So yeah, I'm definitely going to read this as a narrative. So obviously I feel like there's a strong attachment here. With Bouquet, I just get the feeling of the courtship phase being really heady, of feeling like you're equal opposites, of maybe this is someone who was really perfect in the beginning and said all the right things and did some really, really sweet, lovely things that really made you feel really attached to them. It made you feel like they could be the one for you. Like there was so much promise, and that's why it can be really hard to let go. I just noticed that the first card here that came out was the Lovers and the last was the Devil. And these cards are very linked to each other, especially in the Waite-Smith version of the deck. You can see how visually they resonate. This is a 6 and this is a 15, which reduces to a 6. So there is a sense that, like, sometimes a relationship can start out and we see someone and we see so much beauty in them and we think we found our perfect match, but then ultimately when we get closer, the relationship tends to be more obsessive or have a compulsive dimension, or just be more karmic. And I think, yeah, so we start out in a lover's phase. It really feels like the right direction to go in, and I don't fault you for that. Of course, we're going to follow these strong emotions that another person invokes in us. But with the door here in the middle, I do think you're really being called to move towards something else. there are new opportunities out there. I just see the sun shining out there. She's also by some flowers. There's like these flowers by the doorway, which remind me of the flowers on this card. But I think it's about walking past those beautiful flowers because they're ephemeral, they're going to die, they're going to disappear and wither away. Ultimately, they're not the long-lasting promise of like going out into the world and finding your own garden. And then we end on sword. So yeah, I'm just saying that you need to cut this fucking connection off, and that's that. And it might feel really hard, it might make you feel really sad, and you might want to go back to it. But really, I'm just seeing, yeah, like with the snakes here, I'm just seeing a really toxic energy. And she's got snakes on her wrists too, so it just feels very bound. With the Devil card, it feels like there's a strong sense of being bound. She also has a heart on one side and then a little knife on the other. And I think right now is not the time to go with your heart. It's the time to go with the knife. Cut them out. That's my advice. Sorry, that was kind of a vicious reading. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but thank you for watching. Bye. Hi and welcome if you chose Queen of Peppermills or Wands and her little cat. So we're asking today, just saw the page of flamingos, so a message could be the new energy entering your life. I feel like something new is coming, just because the cards are like chatty. Oh my goodness, shut up. Someone want to get an eyebrow piercing? No, I don't know. That just popped into my head. Somebody thinking about doing that? Because just do it. That's not like spirit telling me that. That's just my opinion. Because you can always take it out. Who cares? Okay. Oh, and you're right on top. Okay, good. I'm glad we made it. Okay. All right. I see a lot of people so far. She popped out in the shuffling, so we'll see where that goes. I think you know what you're doing. That's the impression I get. Yeah, big energy. Big energy. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And that's it, because the Hierophant is worth 12 cards. Sorry, what is this little cat doing? Hold on. Okay, so you have 12 cards, so I'm going to put them into 3 groups of 4. Okay. So I feel like you've kind of, I should probably show you the cards, shouldn't I, before I just start reading. So obviously we start with the Queen of Wands into the Six of Swords, the King of Cups in the reverse. And the Page of Cups. Six of Coins. The High Priestess. Two Swords. And the Wailed. Then we get the Lovers in the reverse. The Hermit. The Ace of Coins. And the Hierophant in the reverse. So yeah, I just think you are going your own way. As far as new energy in your life, I feel like you're kind of making it happen. With the Six of Swords, you're moving in a new direction. It feels like you could be leaving someone behind, you know, I feel like, yeah, you're going through a big renewal energy. It's like you're putting your energy into yourself, into your own growth. With the King of Cups reversed, it kind of feels like you're leaving a love interest behind, or just a relationship with a person behind, because I feel like they just really didn't have anything to offer you ultimately on an emotional level. Like, you needed more, and you know that. So you've gone in a new direction with the Page of Hats. This Page of Hats is the Mad Hatter, who's also the Fool in this deck. So it feels like I am getting a little bit of Fool energy with that fresh start. Like, it's like if there's no food at the table, you gotta get up and leave. That's what this King of Cups reversed is telling me. And you did. You already have gotten up and left, or you're preparing to. And with this Page of Hats, I feel like there is a fresh new energy out there for you that is going to suit you a lot better. You may have actually snuck away. You may have, yeah, it feels like you snuck out the back door almost. Yeah, it feels a little bit like maybe you kind of left on bad terms with this person even. That you just knew that you needed to move on, like it was over. That is kind of the feeling I got. A situation or a person. This could even be a work situation technically, but I feel like whoever it was, the way they were relating to or dealing with you, yeah, it felt like they weren't really being fair to you, or they weren't really recognizing your value or what you truly had to offer. So you kind of went in a sort of bold and surprising new direction. And it might not make sense to other people, but for you, this page may be only a page, but this cup is upright. So this cup, no matter how big or impressive it is upside down, so it will never be able to hold anything for you. So moving for the page just made the most sense. Yeah, with the Six of Coins, it's like being aware of what you put your energy to. What do you give to? This Alice, she has a big, delicious cake, and she can share it with anyone she wants. Why is she going to give it to someone who doesn't actually appreciate what she has to offer? With the High Priestess, I feel like you're very much in your own power. You may have gone through a period, especially with this King of Cups person or situation, where you weren't trusting your intuition. I noticed that both of the cards featuring the caterpillar are upside down. So you may have had your fill of authority figures telling you what to do and how to do it. You might just be fucking done. Like, you're ready to listen to yourself. I am my own highest authority. Alice starts off as a very humble, lost person, but in the second book she ends up crowned. See, she's wearing her crown here. So yeah, with this and the World card where Alice is huge, it's like you figured out how, oh my god, you figured out how to get big on your own. You don't need advice from the caterpillar to tell you how to grow big. You don't need the caterpillar to tell you to eat some magic mushroom. Like, you can grow big all on your own. With the Alice as the High Priestess, just by listening to your own intuition. You don't need outer sources of wisdom with the Hierophant here. It's just not necessary. You're not looking for other people's opinions. Yeah, it's like in terms of like discourse, with twos, the High Priestess is a 2 and this is a 2. We engage in discourse with people outside of ourselves when we don't really have a strong feeling internally of what we're supposed to do. But with this too, you're engaging in discourse within yourself. Within the two different parts of yourself, you're in a very, very balanced energy, and you don't need any outside sources of information right now. So, I mean, if you don't feel like this resonates, then I would say, if there are any big problems in your life, to really start journaling about them or just meditating on them, because you really, you don't need advice here, is what I'm seeing. You have the information internally already with this big ocean behind Alice. All of that is within you. All of that potentiality is within you, and you have the potential to take it to take yourself to the next level with the World card. Yeah, with the Lovers right next to the Hermit, feels like you're not focusing on relationships right now. Again, you see the Humpty Dumpty, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. There's this sense of like of a dyad, of a couple, of duality. I think we're leaving that energy behind. Is you don't need to collaborate with anyone right now. This King of Hats, we don't need to fucking collaborate. You're on your own shit. You're doing really well. And with the Hermit, you have all the answers you need. With the Six of Swords, with the High Priestess and the Hermit, it's just about you following your own guidance. We're not needing to look toward any authority figures. I don't think, this doesn't have to be a love interest. This does feel like a masculine figure. This could even be like your dad or someone who mentored you in the past. It doesn't have to be a masculine person, of course, this will vary, but this is just someone whose authority and whose opinion you've always really respected. But you're just needing to move forward and to really look within and follow your own advice now. That's what I'm saying, because you really do have all the answers you need. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when you look within and when you collaborate with yourself and you listen to your own voice, this is how we manifest new opportunities. And I think they're gonna be very unconventional. Like this Hierophant is already a very unconventional Hierophant. But the reversing is like, you're not following the rules of anybody's world. You're not following the rules of the normal world. You're not following the rules of Alice in Wonderland world. The Wonderland world, I guess you'd call it. It's like how Alice is a stranger in a strange land. You are just like on your own journey, manifesting your own shit, and that works for you. I don't know why I thought about you getting an eyebrow piercing in the beginning, but I think that was just my mind's way of saying that you're gonna do something kind of surprising that certain people in your life might not appreciate. You know how some moms will freak out if you get a piercing? My mom always hated the idea of me having an eyebrow piercing, so maybe that's why I thought of it. You might be considering this like new start and opportunity, going down a path that your mother wouldn't necessarily approve of, or your dad or your grandmother, just something like that, where it's conventional authority might not feel like that's a smart way to do things, but you're like, well, look at the world, everything's crazy, everything's falling apart, why do I have to do things any type of way? Like this is what I feel called toward, this is what I know is right. It's like very big energy, for sure, very, very big energy. Anything else that I should convey? Girl. Okay, so we have some kings on deck. Again, I don't know, this is, if you have some kind of masculine figures in your life who, I don't know, are kind of, it just feels like, this isn't masculinity per se. This is more kind of like our ideals of society. The sense of being spiritually bereft is kind of almost like the idea I'm getting from the King of Swords, that like if we differ from what other people around us want or what other people do, then we feel a sense of shame. It feels like a social death on some level to be seen as different or odd, and I feel like it's all about releasing that, letting go of that, letting that idea die. With the King of Coins, we're not attracted toward creating wealth and being successful in traditional ways. It just feels like it's not about with this King of Coins, I just see how he's above all of these other skulls, like he's conquered all of these other competitors, and it's not, I feel like it's not about that. It's not about that competitive energy of other people have to fail for me to succeed. It's about doing things your own way. It's about dreaming of new possibilities and exploring new territory. Again, with this, all the water here behind the High Priestess, it feels like kind of going into the waters of your mind, your own creativity, and really exploring everything that's in there, the good, the bad, the ugly. And then taking that and transmuting it and turning it into balancing the fire and the water, and manifesting it into a real opportunity with the Ace of Coins. So yes, since this is all about the new energy that you're bringing in, I do think it's the Ace of Oysters, Ace of Coins is very relevant, because it's telling me that there is, if you have some project or idea, like even like a trip or anything that you've been drawn toward, any zany idea you've been wanting to try out, there is a real opportunity to manifest it in a physical way. And with the Page of Hats, it just feels very fresh and fun and renewing, and it opens up a lot of doors for you. You don't need anybody else's input. I mean, if you want advice, that's fine, but I'm seeing that really ultimately the real answer is within you. Like, you can take in, obviously it's always nice to receive information, but in terms of like actually making decisions and making choices about your life, you are the most qualified person to do that here, really, really unequivocally. With the Hermit and the High Priestess upright and then the Hierophant reversed, it's incredibly clear that like this is your decision. This is, you have everything you need to make this choice, really. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh my, ma'am. Okay. Let me move those. Just get them out of the way for now. Okay. So, oh, nice. All right, so you got 2 waning moons. Those are the first 2 cards I saw. An air moon and a water moon. Okay. So yeah, I feel like in the past, so concession and disillusion. In the past, you may have bought into a lot of other people's ideas of how you should do things, and you may have conceded your own power on a certain level, not necessarily consciously, of course, but maybe listen to people like the King of Cups or the Hierophant, when they convinced you that what you were intuitively drawn toward wasn't really right for you, or that what you were putting your work and energy into wasn't a good use of your time, it wasn't going to pay off. Yeah, I feel like you may have in the past been much more open to other people's input and advice, and you may have been in more of a phase, with these both being waning moons, you may have been in more of a low energy phase. You may not have been ready to strike out and do things on your own, go your own way. And that makes sense, because it's all about timing too. It's not always, we're not always in an energy to bring something new in. So you don't have to rush out and make a big change. I see that this new energy is coming towards you. It's really about, if you are in more of a waning phase, is maybe now is the time to look within, with the High Priestess and the Hermit. Now is a good time, with this being a waning air moon, to think about what you value most highly, to what are the ideals that you want to live your life by, what ideas do you feel most interested in, what would you want to work toward. And with this being a water moon, what feels exciting on an emotional level, what really pulls you in emotionally, with the Page of Cups as well. Like, where do you feel that fresh, rejuvenated, excited, like frisky energy? Like, where in the past what emotional endeavors in the past didn't work out, and why? And how can we rejuvenate that energy and bring something new in? Because this is a page, I think this is less of an opportunity and more something that you need to embody within yourself, about renewing yourself emotionally. And if you've been disappointed by situations in the past, with this King of Hats reversed, it's about allowing yourself to dream of a new situation. How do you want to be in this new situation? How do you want to act? What energy do you want to put out there in order to draw that same energy back toward you? With Pallas, which has Jupiter and Venus on it, I do think that you will be very successful in whatever you really truly set your mind toward. This is a very abundant, prosperous card. Jupiter and Venus are the higher and lower benefics in astrology, which basically means that whatever they sort of bring their energy into, there tends to be an easier time achieving goals or bringing new things into your life, because the energy is more abundant naturally. With these grapes, it's just a very luxurious, like, pampered energy. I'm just thinking of, like, you know, that old weird trope of, like, feeding somebody grapes. It's very that. So it just feels like, and it's all coming from her mind. Like, it's all about her own intuitive vision. Nobody's telling her how to build this palace. She's manifesting it herself with her own creative energy. So it's a very self-contained number. It's 3, the number of the Empress. You have the abundant potential within you. It's all about trusting your own voice. Yeah, this is about you're building it by yourself and for yourself. And it's fine to, like, talk to other people about it and get their input, but ultimately this is your life, your choices, and your plan. So that's what I see for you for new energy. It's big fucking energy. Feels really good. It feels great, actually. So good luck in your endeavors. I loved the reading. I loved doing it for you. Thanks. Bye. Hi, and welcome to this reading if you chose this very groovy King of Swords. So, let's figure out what new energy is coming into his life. Got really, really smoky all of a sudden. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I love to look and see what they are, but I'm not going to say anything until they officially come out in the reading, because that's the way the King of Swords would do it. That's fair. Now I gotta find the boy. There he is. That was nice and easy. I appreciate that. Bam. Ooh, justice. 4. Temperance is a 12. Oh my. I wondered if that was going to come out. And that is the last card. So, it's a pretty small reading, actually, overall. Okay. So it feels like, I mean, what you would like to manifest, what you were thinking of manifesting is, oh, I forgot to show you the cards again. I always do that. I'm so sorry. So you've seen the King of Swords. Here's Justice. So rude. The 10 of Cups reversed. 9 of Swords reversed. Temperance. 10 of Coins. It's a lot of oysters on a table. Ace of Wands or Peppermills. The Page of Swords. Looking up at the clouds. 8 of Swords. and the Emperor reversed. So it kind of feels like you're coming out of something that just maybe didn't work out. Like it feels like you're totally fine materially, like you're working on your wealth and you're doing well. But the thing about this 10 of coins compared to like the Waite-Smith 10 of coins is that there's really no emotional content here at all. It's like there's this desire for a legacy and achievement, but it's just like 10 oysters lying around. There's no people. There's no like signifiers to give me any sort of like, what am I feeling when I look at those 10 random fucking circles? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? So it feels like you're fine materially, you have enough, and maybe that's what you're focusing on. You may be focusing more on the material. Although I don't actually think that's true. I do think you want more than that. Feels like you came out of a situation and you're alright materially, but you may have lost a lot on an emotional level. And it's almost like you're kind of like, well, what can I do about it now? With this King of Swords, I don't feel like you're necessarily trying to wallow in it. You're trying to take it on the chin, almost, is what I'm getting. Okay, we got Justice coming out again. Oh my god. So we have Justice. We have the Six of Cups and the King of Swords again. So yeah, there's some kind of romantic relationship here, probably from the past. It's either a romantic relationship or some kind of relationship from the past, or a relationship that triggers an ideal that you've always sort of held very strongly in your heart. With the Swords cards is they get sort of pegged as being very unfeeling, but they hold on to their ideals very, very strongly. They don't loosen their grip when they feel like something aligns with what they have in their mind. And with Justice, it feels like, with Justice, we're wanting to write something. Something got turned on its head. It's that through the looking at glass feeling, everything got turned topsy-turvy. I think we're wanting to have a new start with something, with the Ace of Wands here. Yeah, we're wanting to get a new start, but this very controlled king who looks so chill and cool and groovy over here, I feel like is feeling like a lost little page when it comes to the emotional side of things. It just seems like it feels really out of your hands. It might feel like it's in the hands of karma or fate or something here. The pull is there. And this is such a frustrating energy for the King of Swords, but it's like, how do we implement it? Yes, we can keep our material security together. Yes, he can take care of himself. I mean, you don't survive in the Queen of Hearts court by being bad at taking care of yourself, bad at watching your own back. But it feels like, yeah, there's this opportunity for something really sweet. With the Six of Cups popping out, and then the 10 of Cups being here, there was something really sweet and simple and lovely that could have been in your life, that could have manifested, but it didn't. Instead, with this, it's the same mantle, but instead of having like a dear friend snuggled up in a chair playing with, you know, a little toy mouse, is that supposed to be a cat? It should be a cat, because she has a pet cat. It looks like a mouse. Anyways, instead of having that, you just have these 10 oysters. It's like when you have company over, you just show them your fantastic collection of shellfish. Very cool. It feels like inadequate. It feels like, I just see this little like page, like he's looking up for advice. Like he's just like looking up, and it kind of looks like, it looks like he's looking at Justice, like he's questioning fate. Like he's just like, why? Well, why the hell did you set me up to be in this situation? Where it was like so close, and then it all just kind of, it seems like it all fell apart. I think in the past it was like a much more overwhelming energy, and I'm just noticing this is only one of the twins, either Tweedledum or Tweedledee, I don't know. So there's this feeling of being in separation that was really, really frustrating. It's less of a, usually the Nine of Swords looks very sad or miserable, but this is more like really like raging. Like it's an infuriated energy, like that something slipped out of your fingers is almost what it feels like. And I think we're trying to move away from that a little bit. The Eight of Coins, or the Eight of Coins, why did I think of that? With the Eight of Swords, it feels like there's, with the little bitty puddle of water under her feet, even though an 8 is less than a 9, it feels like in this case we're trying to de-escalate the energy, and as opposed to like this bone dry ground with a black void behind Tweedledum or D, we're now in a more open landscape, and there's this possibility of like following the water back to its divine source. We're not really seeing that yet. Alice is looking Alice is also looking up at justice, I feel like. There's just a sense that we're still looking outward. There's this sense of like we're not fully thinking about it. It's like this, oh, why me? Why did that happen? Like there's nothing we can do. Like it's done, it's over. As far as new energy goes, I feel like the new energy that you're being called to bring in, this just popped out again. You might have a little story. It's really long though. Oh my god. Shut up. Okay, I'll look at it. Shut up. Anyways. The Temperance, you might be being called to transmute this energy. This is a card associated with Sagittarius. So we're being, and this is associated with Sagittarius too, to be clear. So we're being asked to like raise our vibration. Instead of letting your thoughts pop off like a rocket to Mars, we gotta sit with the energy. Alice is is unaware that there's water at her feet, but she's there. She's found the water. And with Temperance, we're being asked to like dip our toes into the emotional side. Everyone associates that with, not sword cards, but that's what we're being asked to do. With this Ten of Cups upside down, it's not going to right itself until we like get into the emotional sides of things a little bit. And kind of let go of control with that Emperor reversed. Yeah, it's like this situation was outside of your control. It's not about like bemoaning your fate. With Justice here upright, it's like things happen the way they were supposed to. If you're meant to get back to this renewal or a restart or a new opportunity, then you will, but I do not think that now is the time. I definitely don't think that. The Emperor, we're being asked to relinquish control and just like transmute our energy and learn what we can from the experience. As annoying as that advice always is to receive, that is the advice. Oh, you have 10 cards. Okay, I'll just do it this way. You know what? I'm just gonna put them on top. Cards on cards on cards, yeah? Okay. So yeah, I definitely do think that Eight of Wands is your energy. I have to show you the cards. What is my problem? I don't know what my problem is. I showed you the Eight of Wands. You then had the Sun. The Sun on top of Justice. So you're being asked to have faith in reality, in life. Strength is here. The Devil. Big energy for you. The Three of Wands. The Hierophant. You got like half major arcana popping out. So yeah, this is like some kind of external situation that is meant to test you or teach you. 10 of Wands, if you're into that kind of... 10 of Wands on top of the Ace of Wands. That's cool. 7 of Cups. And then the King of Wands. Bam, there he is. Trying to get into this energy a little bit, get vibey. And last but not least, the Hanged Man. Yeah, the Emperor doesn't like being stuck in one place, and you'll notice this Emperor is upside down. So we're hanging the Emperor. He has his knee crossed, just like the Emperor does in the traditional cards. Not on the Waite-Smith, though, I don't think. The old traditional cards, the Marseille Tarot. But anyways, it's kind of like the Emperor is being hung upside down from a tree because he's so stubborn and he's so stuck in his own plans and his own idea of what reality is going to be and how things are supposed to work out. His whole world gets turned topsy-turvy, upside down, because he needs to learn a lesson. He needs to accept that certain things are outside of his control. And yeah, I don't mean to be rude, because we all get in our ego sometimes, and this isn't about a masculine or feminine energy even. This is just about our ego sometimes being really, really stuck on things have to go this way. But you are being asked with the Sun on top of Justice to retain a sense of optimism despite the fact that material circumstances are not really aligning the way you, or maybe material circumstances are fine, but emotional circumstances are not aligning the way you'd want them to. The new energy coming in is definitely a perspective shift, which, like, nobody likes hearing that, because everyone's like, I want the new energy to be a winning lottery ticket or the love of my life. Sorry, that's not what I see necessarily. With this Ten of Cups reversed, is I feel like this situation was designed to test you. It was definitely almost like designed to frustrate you, to teach you to deal with the darker side of yourself. Whatever, it doesn't have to be a romantic situation that went wrong in the past. It was kind of just something that represented an ideal for you, that something you really dearly wanted that seemed like the perfect thing. And so then we had to kind of, with the strength traditionally being, I know this one is an 8, but I always think of strength as an 11. I just kind of see it as the duality of the sort of the perfect higher angelic self, and then the like lower chthonic bestial self. We may have seen certain parts of our character be revealed that we didn't necessarily want to look at, or maybe we still haven't really looked at those parts of ourselves, but it did expose some more negative elements of our ego, which again, that's fine. That's what life does. It exposes our ego. I think with this Nine of Swords energy, there was a really compulsive element about it. You may have been obsessed with the situation not going the way you wanted it to. Again, it just made you feel incomplete. It made you feel really powerless. It was like there was just this retreat into the mind, because reality had just let you down so completely, is kind of the idea I'm getting. With this being such an earthy card, it just feels like wanting to pull back into your own head, because the rage you felt for like how reality failed to live up to your internal ideals. That is something it feels like we're confronting our own expectations. With the Devils being kind of like the shadow energy of the Lovers, it's like we understand how our expectations sometimes are really, really, really unfair and demanding. And so situations become really draining and really unsatisfying, because if it feels like if they can't be ideal, then they're like, there's this, it's with these two tens, it just feels like you can have a very all or nothing mentality. And I'm sorry, that message might not be for everyone. It might be very specific to some people. I'm not trying to drag anybody. I totally can sympathize with how frustrated. I just feel a lot of frustration. It just feels like something was very, very dearly wished for, and then it just felt like it was an illusion. Like this sort of curtain fell away, and what we thought was the Lovers was actually the Devil. It feels like a very intense dichotomy. With Temperance, again, with this being a 3, I feel like we're expanding from this dichotomy of good or evil, and just seeing the middle path. That's what I know this isn't the normal interpretation of the card, but I'm just seeing the middle path. That's what we're supposed to learn to do. To not go into full evil or full perfect good. Just find the middle path. That's the new energy that needs to come in. That's what the Hanged Man is here to teach teach us. It's a very spiritual lesson. With the Hierophant being over the 10 of coins, it feels like right now where we're starting is a very rigid, kind of I don't want to say spiritually impoverished, but it may be that the more spiritual side of you, if you have a very spiritual side, needs some freshening. It just feels like we're getting, because the Hierophant can correspond to Taurus, so sometimes we get too stuck in our own patterns, in our own ways. You may be doing everything right on a material plane, you're holding it together, you're doing great, but we're relying too much on not tradition, but kind of like the patterns we've established so far. And it's kind of like our own mental patterns have become a law unto ourselves. This can be a big problem with the King of Swords. The thought patterns that exist in his mind can become very calcified, and they can kind of become more real to him than actual reality. And it's just kind of, I don't think you're going to, the reason I don't think you're manifesting, because it's a good thing to have an ace show up in a reading about what new energy we're manifesting, but I don't think that this is going to happen until we complete this cycle. The 10 needs to reset back into a 1. But that's not going to happen yet until we fully address all the sort of psychological energy that's accrued and that's sort of built up and calcified and become a blockage for us, basically. It's a burden. It's kind of holding you down. Yeah, we need to... There's a need to, like, with this sun, with this beautiful child, just be reborn. The sun card is a 19, which reduces to a 1. It's all about, yeah, letting go of some of this older energy that's kind of accrued and stagnated within you. This Page of Flamingos doesn't know which way to go, doesn't know how to manifest a new start or begin something new, because it just feels like there's this buildup of emotional energy that's just like swirling around. In the Thoth Tarot, I believe, the 7 of Cups is called the botch. There's this sense of just the energy stagnating, of it not being, it's kind of like I'm just thinking of that deck. I don't know why, but I just feel like the cups are getting gunky almost. Like you need to clean out your cups, your emotional energy. With the King of Wands being here and this little pool of water, I just feel like you're at this step where you're getting ready to sort of access a more feelings-oriented side of yourself. You might not want to go straight into the cups. That might not be for you. That might be treacherous territory. So the King of Wands, we're kind of sidestepping into a more, it's a more, I want to say feeling or intuitive energy. It's not as vulnerable as the Cups energy, and it's not quite as fluid, but it's kind of like changing up your energy a little bit, because it does feel like you have a big energy block. So you need to work with the wand side of yourself, the energy side of yourself. If you do have any energy practices that you like to use, especially with regards to meditation, yoga, tai chi, anything like that to work with your own energy, it does feel like with temperance that would be very helpful. But mostly it's about examining your more, it might be examining your more spiritual side, because the wands can be a very spiritual energy. The Hierophant and the Hanged Man showing up here. I wouldn't be surprised if you were a more spiritual person. With Strength and Temperance being here, I do feel like there's a need to transmute your energy and move it to a higher vibration, a higher level. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like you might be called to step out of your normal way of expressing yourself, your normal modus operandi, because maybe the Way of the Sword hasn't really been serving you well so far. It seems like the swords have been getting you stuck in your mind, stagnant mind patterns, and kind of it feels like it's just kind of throwing you off a little bit. Yeah, so with the Emperor and the Hanged Man here, again, I kind of already talked about this card. But what the new energy that's coming in is it's a perspective shift. It's a surrender. It's a release of control, accepting that certain situations in the past did not manifest in the way you wanted them to, but you're not going to manifest new situations until we deal with these old energies clogging up your energy field. It needs to be cleaned out. This is a very Piscean energy. You need to release and need to surrender, to let it go. And yeah, you need to access a more emotionally focused side of yourself. You don't have to go all the way in your feelings if that's not you. Far be it from me to tell you how to live, but like, that is what I'm seeing. So let me just see if there's any Moon Oracle deck cards that I can pull for you that might help with any last messages. That flipped, but it didn't come out, and I didn't see it. Oh, there she is. Okay. Okay, so we have a black moon and a crescent moon. The black moon in the earth element, economy. And then the crescent moon in the air element, idea. That's very interesting. So with a very, you're being called, I think, with a dormant earth moon to try to kind of turn your energy away from the material right now. You may be with the devil card, you may be using the material to escape these really painful thought processes, which I totally understand, but ultimately the best way to escape them is not to distract yourself with material things. That just kind of makes it your background music that's playing behind everything. So yeah, because you seem well taken care of materially. You may not feel like a 10 of coins energy, but I'm just saying you definitely have enough. You've consolidated enough that you can take your mind off the physical a little bit and kind of focus on some, emotional healing with this idea. I do feel like, yeah, you're being called to change your perspective, definitely. And if it feels better, if it feels better to attack this in a more intellectual way, if you feel like you're more of a, what am I saying, a rational or logical person, then that's totally fine. It's just that if we're going to stay in our swords energy, we are needing to think of new ideas and create new thought patterns, because the 9 and 8 of swords is just not a fun energy to be in. It's not enjoyable. It's not doing you any favors. So yeah, it might be a good idea to to try to look at this situation from a new perspective, and that's what the King of Wands can offer, is a new perspective. That is what I think he's here to say, is that you are more than just the thoughts that you've built up and become attached to in the past. You have more perspectives inside of you, and that's part of taking the middle path, is like trying to open up new areas of your energy field. Like there's more to you than just than logical thought process that you've been following, that you've been living in with regards to this situation. There are more perspectives out there. Yeah, because the King of Wands has a really, his vision is very far-reaching, and he can look at things from many different angles. So I think that's what we're being asked to do here, is to find an angle that isn't so logically focused. And that is what I see for you. I hope that helped. Good luck with everything. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hiya and welcome if you chose the chariot as your significator. That is a very fun significator to pick for a reading about new energy coming towards you. So I'm really interested to see what comes up. I'm gonna cut. I don't know if it even makes a difference. I just felt like doing that. Okay. I'm gonna find the significator and then just see what comes up. This card always reminds me of the scene in Spirited Away when Chihiro's on the train. I don't know. Here we go. It's just got a melancholy vibe to me because of that. Judgment reversed. Okay, so we're getting big energy straight out the gate. Oh wait, that was it. Cool. I keep doing that. I don't know if that's you. To be fair, it could just be because this is the... I don't even know what number group. Maybe you got the most reversed cards of anyone. Yeah, okay, so I feel more tired just pulling cards for you. I feel like you've been on quite a journey. It's been really, really hard. But I feel like you are moving towards something. Moving towards something new. Yeah, so with Judgment, I feel like it may have taken you a while to get going. Oh, I forgot to show you the cards. I always do this. Okay, sorry. Judgment. And you'll notice this little fella on trial right here is the same person on this card, your next card, the Four of Coins, the Empress, the Six of Coins reversed. A very earthy energy to start. And we have Death reversed, Ace of Wands. I don't feel like this represents your future energy, even though it is an ace and it's upright. A Nine of Swords. I mean, it might. We'll see. The World reversed. And the Five of Cups. So this is the same person on these two cards. So this person shows up a lot in your reading. The Three of Swords. The Six of Swords. And then we end with the Knight of Coins. So it's a very earthy energy. I mean, that's what's jumping out at me. So it feels like we're definitely starting out in a more earthy place. It feels like you may have been called towards something. Yeah, so it feels like a big energy. It feels bigger than love even. It feels almost very spiritual. Yeah, I feel like you may have been called toward that energy, but at the time you were caught up in something very material. The Four of Coins, I just see how passionately this Jack of, or is it the Knave of Hearts? This Knave of Hearts is enjoying his oysters. Like, there's just a feeling of that. On a physical level, there was a material level, there was something you were very drawn to. And it might not have been the best thing for you, because this is showing the Knave of Hearts being on trial for stealing tarts. So you may have been drawn towards something that felt very fulfilling or very attractive, but ultimately it wasn't for you. And it didn't really serve you well. With the Empress right next to the Six of Coins reversed, it just feels like you're a person with a lot of love to give. Just like a very nurturing person. You just bring a lot of sweetness. The Empress is just like a very sweet, nurturing energy. So it feels like you bring a wonderful, soft energy towards whatever you decide to engage with. But with the Six of Coins reversed, it feels like you were giving to the wrong things. Alice has got this big, beautiful, bountiful chocolate cake. But it just feels like pearls before swine almost. Like it was, your energy was wasted in situations and on people who didn't really appreciate everything that you had to offer. This Empress is much more humble than your average Empress, who can be just quite beautiful and quite sensual looking. And I'm not making any comments on what you look like or even your gender or anything like that. But I feel like it's just, this Empress is a more unassuming energy. Like, you don't necessarily see everything she has to offer right away. You have to be aware, you have to be paying attention. I don't feel like you're necessarily a super flashy person. Or there are things about you that are very valuable that other people won't perceive right away until they really get to know you. And it just feels like, yeah, you were around people in situations that weren't really recognizing your value. Yeah, I feel like with these two cards, the Six of Swords and the Queen of Cups, you had to move away from, or the best thing to do would have been to move away from these situations, but you just may have been very, very emotionally attached. And with the Fool here, I don't know if you were necessarily acting with your own best interest in heart. Yeah, you may just be a very big-hearted person who doesn't always do what's best for you. With Death reversed, it feels like with the Death reversed and Ace of Peppermills, you might have had a new opportunity in your life, but in order to go after that opportunity, you would have had to let go of something, and I think it was something related to this situation. It might have been a person you were really attached to. It might have been a job that brought you a lot of security. It might have just been like wanting to stay with your certain friend group that you've like known your whole life, but it kind of keeps you trapped in your old social identity, so you're missing opportunities to grow. With Judgment and Death reversed, it just feels like we've been missing opportunities to grow because we want to stay in these situations that feel more safe and familiar and just give to the things that we've always given to. But I think you're being called to reach a new level, to take it to a higher place. And so there was this opportunity here, but it feels like it wasn't taken. With the Nine of Swords, it's like we didn't want to go it alone. We didn't want to move. The 9 is an initiatory number, so it's kind of like we didn't want to move to the next step, to the next phase. We wanted to stay where we were, so there was a lot of anxiety and frustration around this. Yeah, and with the World reversed, it just feels like ultimately I was opting not to take the opportunity. Because all these big cards of change and transformation are reversed. The World, Judgment, and Death. And with the Empress, it feels like we want to stay with what's more familiar and what's more safe. And I'm not criticizing that at all, that makes sense. A lot of times really big changes can be very threatening. Yeah, so with the Five of Cups reversed, I just feel like even when situations aren't serving us necessarily, it can take a long time to leave them behind. We can stay stuck in a situation even when there's clearly but there's nothing more on offer really, but we just stay in that situation because it's what we know, and so we can sometimes bypass opportunities. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this might be a missed romantic opportunity with the 2 cups behind this page. You may have chosen security over passion, that's just for some of you, and then that's not necessarily a bad choice on the surface of things. The timing may not have been right as well, with all these big cards reversed. It wasn't necessarily the time to manifest an opportunity. Yeah, but you definitely have kind of a stubborn energy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. You definitely feel a little bit stubborn, and that's why I feel like the Chariot has to come through to kind of like almost mow you down. Yeah, it feels like I'm just seeing this like stern hand of fate intervening. I just saw 1010 on my little phone. That's the number of the wheel. It almost feels like, yeah, some kind of outside force has to intervene and force you to change, because otherwise you will just stand by these empty cups forever. And so with the 3 of Swords, I feel like there has been some kind of upset or like shattering. That's a really melodramatic word of some situation that you were in that was really safe and comfortable, some situation you'd invested a lot of your incredibly abundant, powerful Empress energy into, and we invested in it, like high key, full force. And I think that situation kind of ended up coming apart a little bit. And if that's true for you, then I think that happened because that's what needed to happen, because that wasn't for you. And that's not always very comforting advice, because sometimes in our heart, we're just like, but I want that to be for me. Why is that not for me? Like, what the fuck? I just saw 11:11 on my clock. On my phone. I swear I'm not just like staring at the numbers constantly. It's just so funny. I saw 10:10 and then 11:11. So I do think like there is a place out there for you, but we're not there yet. It's not time. And you're being called to travel away and sort of explore more. The new energy that's coming into your life is, I feel like we just have this opportunity to slowly move toward something that's actually for us, something that's more fulfilling, something that's more stable, something that's, I feel like since you are a groundy person, oh my god, you are a grounded person, you deserve someone that's going to be in it, or a situation, a job, anything that's going to be sort of in it for the long haul, the way you are. Something that you can really, really actually invest your energy into. Something that's worth your time. A genuine fresh start. A genuine fresh start that you can put all your hope and faith and trust and optimism into. But we have to travel toward that. Oh my god, I just realized. The Empress is in this little boat. So yeah, you're taking all of your abundant, beautiful Empress energy with you. You didn't waste it on them. It's fine. The Empress is infinitely abundant. She can always make more. You might feel really, really depleted and like you've really just like lost, or you might feel, yeah, I don't want to like say something like you might feel like a little bit broken, or like you've lost some integral part of you that can't be retrieved. But the truth is, you always have this incredible, creative, abundant potential that you take with you everywhere. And so now we're just, with this Knight of Coins, we're using our creative potential more thoughtfully. We're investing it more thoughtfully, and that's the new energy that's coming in. That's the transformation energy that's been trying to come in, that's been trying to help you level up, is that we're learning to use our energy more thoughtfully to achieve goals that are really right for us. Okay, the Chariot just popped out. So that can tell us a little bit about this kind of, because the Chariot is, it's an interesting significator. I didn't like pick the significators on purpose. The Chariot just popped out. So this can usually, I mean almost always, it represents subconscious energy. A lot of it is, even if it's partially conscious, the Chariot represents duality. So there's always a part of it that's kind of out of our control and kind of unconscious. The next card is the Four of Coins, which is the same as that card. Then we have the Ten of Cups, yes ma'am, and Temperance. I feel like Temperance came out for a lot of these readings. So we're getting in we're kind of like really focusing on our own energy and our own, instead of focusing on what other people do wrong or ways other people have hurt us, we're focusing on ourselves and our own healing and our own growth. So I think what I'm seeing here with this energy is the reason that this situation that you were really attached to didn't work out. This job offer that fell through, or this opportunity to travel that you didn't get to take, or this relationship that didn't materialize, or this friendship that fell apart. The reason that you had to relinquish that you had to let go of that, is because I think that it was standing in the way of this Ten of Cups potential that's out there for you somewhere. And I think because you were getting too stuck and grounded into, because I feel like you're the type of person who really invests and goes all in, and you were investing too much in things that were kind of like, were fine, they were very good, they felt stable. 4 is a very stable, safe number, but like you could have just taken it to a higher place. You have the potential to go much higher. With the Chariot, this is like this unconscious energy that's pushing us, even if we don't really consciously want to change, to go out into the world and seek something that's much higher. I mean, this Ten of Cups feels a lot more satisfying. It feels like all of our boxes are ticked here. And so the new energy that we're bringing in, I think it's not so much energy that's coming in from the outside, but it's an internal shift that's happening. That this is about you putting in the work toward new goals, kind of rebuilding after maybe what felt like a bit of a disaster, a bit of a shatter event, a lost opportunity maybe. We're learning to rebuild and re-envision what we want for ourselves and go out into the world and find something better than what we lost, because there are better opportunities out there for you, is what I feel. It's just that we get so attached to like what we know. That's the problem. Sometimes it's like, well, I feel like once your brain starts to get really attached, starts to form certain neural networks, we just really don't want to let go. You just feel like this is it, this is the best, but it's not really the best that's on offer, it's just the best we've had so far. It's the best we can imagine, but it's not the best that there is. The Knight of Cups can be a very ambitious person, and I feel like he has a lot to prove. So I feel like it'd be interesting for you to try to prove to yourself that you can create a better situation for yourself. You can move towards something even greater. Okay, any messages in this deck? Any final notes? Okay, cool. Oh, compromise. So you got the waning fire moon. Compromise. What else? Oh. Mansion number 9, the pitcher. It's like you need to refill your cups. That's a definite vibe I'm getting in. Anything else? It's a very self-contained vibe, actually. Pluto and Neptune. And it relates to Cancer. So there's some big water energy here. With the chariot also being Cancer. Anything else? Can we get one more card, please? My battery's gonna die soon. Oh, look where we end up. Solution, the full air moon. Okay, so we go from a waning fire moon, compromise. I just feel like, yeah, situations in the past may have compromised you. Or I feel like even you chose to compromise on, you might have had an opportunity that was, with it being the Ace of Wands, it may have seemed too out there, too risky, like it didn't feel like it was rational enough, like it was grounded enough. So you may have compromised on what you truly felt passionate about and what you truly felt drawn toward. And that was, I mean, with it being a waning moon, the waning fire moon in this deck is corresponded to the time of the year when seed pods drop. So I feel like you unwittingly kind of planted seeds of self-doubt and kind of, yeah, like, planted seeds of not self-undoing, but kind of undermining yourself. You planted that seed of not respecting your own desires almost. And that's why other situations in your life may have fallen apart, because you need to be honoring what you truly desire, what you truly feel drawn toward on an energetic level. With picture, if you can see this person's hair is refilling these pictures down here, it's kind of like, I just see this as the two different sides of yourself, like you're feeding energy into yourself, and then you see that she's got this very self-contained energy, like she's holding herself. She feels very protective. I feel like, yeah, in the past, you may have just been protecting yourself, I don't want to be rude, protecting yourself in the wrong way. Like you may have been trying to protect yourself from growth, and it's really, with just the Four of Coins showing up here twice, you may have felt like you were protecting yourself from anxiety, from a lot of bother, from just like emotional turmoil. But ultimately the reason you felt this emotional turmoil in the first place is because we weren't respecting our desires with the Ace of Wands. We were trying to avoid change, with death in the world and judgment all being reversed. And really, it's like, I think this card is calling you to be more in the flow of things, to naturally be in the flow of things. Of course, there's a part of you that's going to be very self-protective, that's going to value what feels safe, what feels stable, and what feels like the rational choice. But you also need to value the part of you that is more intuitive, and maybe this is a more underdeveloped part of you. You need to value what you genuinely feel passionate about, what you feel drawn toward, and not always shut that part of you down, because I feel like that is, with this being a waning fire moon, it feels like what you were intuitive and passionate about wasn't really being honored in your life. There was no reflection of that side of you in your actual lifestyle. With this being the 9th mansion on top of the 9 of Swords, I feel like you're being called to accept this sort of energy of initiation, of entering into a new stage of your life, allowing old cycles to close and moving forward into something new. And what we find after all of that, at the end of this, is this full air moon solution. So we have a strong vision. We know what we wanna create. It's about fully understanding what your highest potential is, not cutting yourself off short. What is your full 10 of Cups? Maybe journal about like what you want in a job or what you want in a relationship. I'm not getting a strong vibe either way, honestly. Or even like what you want in a spiritual practice. It could be anything. It feels very open. Mostly it just feels like this incredible energy of just being drawn towards something higher than what we've experienced so far. And that could be sort of in terms of like the way you live. It could be emotionally, or it could be spiritually. But it's about, you've experienced conflict between two sides of yourself and kind of finding the solution for that duality. And since you may be a more naturally rational person, it could help to really think it through and envision what is your perfect 10 of Cups. What is the perfect outcome for this situation? What are the standards you set for it? How does that look like? What does it feel like? And then what are the small, minute steps you can take to actually build it with the Knight of Coins? So the new energy, I feel like, that's coming into your life really comes from you. It really comes from you, you with this picture, like feeding yourself, giving to yourself, and developing your own point of view, honoring all the different parts of yourself. Because you are the Empress, and you have an incredibly abundant energy. And there's no need to fear, I know it's easy to say, like, there's no need to fear change, no big deal, but like, I feel like this change was here to serve you, and that can be very, very unpleasant. But yeah, ultimately it is for your benefit. It wasn't here to like destroy you, or I just feel like with death and judgment reversed, it can feel very oppressive. Like it's, because this is, I feel like this has to do with Pluto, and this is Scorpio. So those energies can be very unpleasant. I understand that. But ultimately it was here to fill you up. To fill you up until you overflowed and went into the next level of being. Yeah, this has Scorpio on it too, actually. Scorpio and Neptune. So it is a very vibey, heady, spiritual energy, ultimately. It is about spiritual growth, even if it's manifesting. I don't know if you can hear that, that's my cat. Even if it was manifesting, if it's manifesting through material problems, like relationship or job problems, ultimately it is a more spiritual, higher level energy that's just manifesting on the material plane. And that is the reading that I have for you. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed.